Hello and welcome to Decoding Attachment Styles. Today, I want to talk about something that's been a very harmful narrative for many of my clients, and I'm sure that you're probably going through the same thing. It is about avoidance discarding people when they get too close. And I want to talk about why this is so harmful and hurtful to those of us who are beginning to believe it. First, the narrative. And before we get into it, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button so that whenever a new episode comes out, you're going to be the first to get it. What is social media saying? Social media is saying that avoidants discard you. They throw you away like trash. Once you get close, they're gone. It's cold, calculated, and heartless. But let's talk about what's really happening. And the purpose of this podcast is not to demonize any of the attachment style, and it's not to romanticize any of the attachment styles. It is about bringing about awareness so that we could develop empathy and also set our boundaries. Nothing that I say here means that you have to be extra patient and stay with someone who's causing you pain. Okay, so this is really just about bringing about awareness. Let's talk about what's really happening when an avoidant attached person pulls away. Discard, that word, is a narcissist language. Narcissists are really the people who discard you when you're no longer useful. An avoidant attached doesn't think that you're trash or trash-like to be discarded or thrown away. Avoidant attached persons are doing something completely different. And the word choice itself demonizes a trauma response. What's actually happening is avoidants are not discarding. They're deactivating, they're withdrawing, they're self-protecting, and they're responding to overwhelm. It feels like rejection, I get that, but their internal experience is completely different. This is what their internal experience is. In the avoidant attached person's mind, they're thinking, this is too much. I'm losing myself. I can't breathe. I need space to think. Something feels wrong. And it's not that this person is worthless now. That's not what they're ever thinking. That's what a narcissist would think. An avoidant attached person does not think that you're worthless. We want to understand the origin. Avoidant attachment forms when emotional needs were dismissed. Vulnerability was punished. Closeness felt suffocating. And independence really meant their only way to survive. They learned that if they got too close, then they're going to lose themselves. What triggers them? What is going to trigger an avoidant attached person's withdrawal? It's usually feeling pressured for intimacy. If they feel like you're moving in too fast or you're going to keep bugging them to get too close too soon, they're going to probably pull back. If they're sensing expectations that they can't meet, many times we show up and we say, this is what I want, but you're unable to do it. You're unable to be emotionally available. And if we're doing this 2 weeks in the relationship, they start to think, you know what? This person wants something from me and I'm seeing that I can't give it to them. So they may pull away. They may leave the relationship. Their withdrawal is going to be triggered when they feel like they're losing their sense of autonomy. If they're being told what to do and what not to do, or if they have expectations of what they should do and what they shouldn't do, who they should talk to, where they should go, when they should go places. If you're going to get upset if they do something like hang out with their friends and not invite you along, it means that they have no sense of self anymore. They're losing all control of what they can and cannot do, and they are going to withdraw. They're also going to pull back if the emotional intensity is something that they can't yet process. So, for example, If you're saying you love them and it's only been 2 months, they're going to wonder, what the heck does this person love about me when they don't even know me? So they start to pull away. They start to see this as a trap or just madness. If you're getting them presents all the time and still complaining that they're not being nice to you, then they wonder, like, why is this person being so nice to me if they're claiming that I'm not good to them? So emotional intensity. Remember, they're not familiar with it. They have not had people in their lives where those people showed up for them consistently or regularly. So you coming in full of all this love and care feels like a trap. If they feel like they're disappointing you, they don't want to know that. They don't want to feel that. So they are going to withdraw. Social media is saying that you're getting too close to their heart, and because of that, they're pulling away. No, it's not that easy to get to close to their heart. It's not that easy to get to know them. It takes years to get that close. They have to see that you are someone they can trust and that it's not an act, because they're used to humans being very tricky. And so, no, it's not because you're getting too close to them in a period of 3 months. When we think that way, it's an arrogant way of thinking, to think that we have the power to make someone fall for us that way. No, an avoidant attached person is a brilliant person. They know that humans can be tricky, and they take their time getting to know someone. So they don't share a whole lot with a complete stranger. And you may think that after 3 months, you're no longer a stranger. Yes, they still don't know you. And how do we know that they don't know us? Because we're still learning about us. And if we're taking our time learning about us, or we haven't even started learning about us, they're pretty sure that they don't know us, and we don't know them just yet. You want to remember that this isn't about you. When an avoidant attached person withdraws, it's usually not because you did something wrong. It is not that you're not enough. It is not that they never cared. And it is sure not that you got too close to the real them. Because like I said, that can take years. It is often because it is their nervous system that is screaming danger. And whatever that danger is, allow them to figure it out on their own. It's not your problem to solve. Learn not to jump in to pacify them because you're afraid that if you don't fix the problem, they're going to walk away. Let them process on their own. They are grown-ups. If you want to treat them as grown-ups, behave as though they're grown-ups and let them be, or give them that respect. Let them figure this out. They've learned to take care of themselves so far. They don't need you to step in and fix them. What they need you to do is give them space while you're respecting yourself, and then they find that attractive, that you care more about you. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between narcissistic discarding and avoidant attached deactivating. A narcissist lacks empathy for your pain. A narcissist moves on without looking back. A narcissist blames you entirely. A narcissist may return only to use you again and then discard you. An avoidant deactivating often feels terrible. They don't like it. They struggle with guilt and shame. They know that they're hurting you and they don't enjoy it. They genuinely cannot regulate the overwhelm, especially if you're right there. Avoidant attached persons are hurting too. They often will withdraw after they feel like, some of the thoughts that will go through their minds is stuff like, why can't I just be normal? They think, I ruined another good thing. They believe that something's wrong with them. They think, I want connection, but I can't handle it. And they're not celebrating. They're often in pain. Let's talk about some truth. But we're going to do it with compassion. Avoidant withdrawal is a nervous system response. It is a learned survival pattern. It's a way to prevent them becoming engulfed, or the way they think they can become engulfed. And it is a trauma reaction. It is not a calculated move to hurt you. They're not setting out to hurt you. It is not proof that they never cared. And it is not evidence that you weren't good enough. But here's the thing. Understanding this doesn't mean accepting it, like I said earlier. Avoidants are responsible for communicating their needs, for working on their patterns, for not repeatedly hurting people, and for getting help if they want relationships. Compassion does not mean that you have to excuse their behavior. For the anxious attached person who's listening to this, if you're anxiously attached and this has triggered you, your pain is valid. I want you to know that I know your pain is valid. For those of you who've never heard me before, I was once anxiously attached, and I know how painful it is. I've been there. I can remember that pain. So your pain is valid. Being left hurts. It hurts bad, regardless of why it's happening, regardless of what the trauma is of that person, their reason. It hurts. And you don't have to stay and understand. Only this morning I had someone reach out and asked if it's normal for her partner to leave for weeks without reaching out to her. Should she just be more patient? No. If my partner left after 2 days and not reach out to me or not respond to my text messages, I would consider the relationship over. I'm not sitting around waiting for him to come and tell me if it's okay, if it's over or not. No, I would make that decision because you don't get to disrespect me. So anxious attached persons, work on your healing so you start to really love yourself and respect yourself and not sit there and wait for someone to choose you. What this podcast is about is to help you to see that calling it discarding is only keeping you stuck in a victim mindset. It's a victim narrative that doesn't help your healing. It holds you back. Saying that someone discarded you, it's you pretty much saying, I am trash. No one gets to discard you. You're a human being. You're a beautiful human being. It's not discard. They're withdrawing. And if a narcissist discards you, it is because of their lack of care for another human being. It has nothing to do with you. It's a brokenness in them. It is not a you thing. Let's talk a little bit about the cycle. Did it sound like this cycle? I meant the cycle. What often happens is the anxious intensity causes the avoidant overwhelm. The avoidant then will withdraw, and then the anxious starts to pursue harder. And as the anxious pursues, the more the avoidant shuts down. Both are acting from trauma. We want to know that. Neither is a villain, and both need healing. Nobody's better than the other one. You might be asking, so what does my avoidant attached partner need? For avoidant attached people to stay engaged, partners who respect, I need space. That's what they need. They need a partner who's going to respect it, not try to change it, not try to talk them out of it, not try to question it. When someone says, I need space, when someone says no, it means no. When they say I need space, it means they need space. Try not to take it personally. They need time to process their emotions alone. They don't need help with it. They need slower relationship pacing. Yes, we will find a lot of avoidant attached, just like anxious attached, get involved in a relationship and they talk about the chemistry and how amazing it was and how great it was in the beginning. But what happens? It starts to fizzle out. So if you want to build a good relationship with an avoidant attached person, you choose how it's going to move. You pace the relationship. If we are not able to pace the relationship, then look at your trauma. Because what we do in relationships is we try to latch on to this person to prove that we are worthy of being chosen. And so we build a relationship really fast. If we slow it down by knowing that it takes time to know someone before we can decide if this is the person we want in our lives forever, then we can control the pacing. And that takes a lot of inner work for us to deliberately choose on how to move a relationship. They're going to stay engaged, an avoidant attached person is going to stay engaged when there is independence within intimacy. What does that mean? It means that they get to choose the pace as well. They don't feel pressured into intimacy. They don't feel like they have to perform a particular way that you would like. They want to do things at their pace as well. They want to be independent in deciding, do I want to, or how do I want to get intimate with someone? And they want to know that it's safe for them to not be perfect. It is okay to not be perfect all the time. That they're going to be accepted for being a human with flaws. They're not going to be engaged if there's constant pursuit or emotional intensity. They are going to feel icked, just like an anxious attached or a secure attached person would, and they're going to pull away. What does healing look like for an avoidant attached person? If you're avoidant attached and you're listening to this podcast, what you want to learn to do is communicate your needs before shutting down. You want to tolerate intimacy without panicking about it. You can ask to go to slower pace. You want to stay present when you're uncomfortable instead of getting up and running away or shutting down. Learn to be a little uncomfortable. You want to recognize, be very aware of your withdrawal patterns. And you want to ask for space. You want to be more attuned to who you are, what your needs are, and speak from that place. And what we all want to do is we want to stop saying that avoidants discard. We want to start saying that they have deactivated, they withdraw, they self-protect, they shut down. Because language is going to shape our understanding. And understanding is what's going to create compassion. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for joining me on my mission, which is to end attachment, demonization, and restore compassion in science. We want to remember that avoidants aren't narcissists who discard people. They're trauma survivors who learned that closeness is danger. And both avoidant withdrawal and anxious pursuit are trauma responses. Both deserve empathy and both need healing. Please share this podcast for those who may find it helpful. And until the next episode, I'm your host, Annalisa Bahadur.